Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film a TBR video. This video is for March, and I'm doing it because I would like to participate in March Mystery Madness. March Mystery Madness is a themed reading month that's hosted by a variety of booktubers. I will link some of their channels down below so you can watch their introduction videos. And I just thought that since I had had such a heavy reading month in February where I focused mainly on Black history, I thought that mysteries would be a welcome change from what I have been reading in the last few weeks. I have several mysteries on my TBR stack, and while these mysteries don't meet any of the specific 6 reading prompts that the hosts of March Mystery Madness have developed, they are mysteries, and therefore in general I think they will meet the challenge and allow me to sort of participate by proxy. So let's just get to what books I might be reading in March. The first book is classic, and this is the Sherlock Holmes Mysteries by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is a collection that includes I don't think that this is necessarily the complete collection, but this includes 22 of the Sherlock Holmes short stories. I picked this up last summer at a library book sale, and I have read some Sherlock Holmes mysteries, but certainly not all of them, and I thought this would be a good way for me to read a few more of those stories. The next book I have here in my pile is the first book in a cozy mystery series. This is called The State of the Onion by Julie Heisey, I think is how you say her name. And this series, I don't know very much about it. I found this at a yard sale for like $1.25 and thought it sounded interesting. The main character in this book is White House Assistant Chef Olivia Parras. So this takes place in the White House in Washington, D.C. in the United States. And Olivia is, as her boyfriend is a Secret Service agent, and there's an assassin, and this chef somehow gets involved in this plot to try to kill the president. So I thought that sounded like a fun romp of a book. Really, I don't read a lot of cozy mysteries, but this one just sounded up my alley, so we'll give that one a try. Another one that I've had on my TBR for quite a long time is this one. It's called Bruno, Chief of Police. The author is Martin Walker, and this is about a chief of police in a small town in France called Saint Denis, and he is called upon to solve a mystery, a murder of a local Algerian man is found murdered, and he has to figure out if it's sort of racism is involved, if it has to go back to World War II type issues. And I've never read a mystery series that's set in France that I can remember, and I thought this one was actually gifted to me in a sort of Secret Santa swap multiple years ago, and I have yet to read it, and I thought March Mystery Madness might be a good time to check that one out. The next one I have here is called What She Knew by Gilly Macmillan, and this is more of a suspense novel. This is about a mom and her son who are walking in the park one day. The son runs ahead. Her 8-year-old son runs ahead and disappears. And the story then unfolds, what's happened to the son? Did the mom have anything to do with it? Did the dad have anything to do with it? Did other members of the family have anything to do with it? And it's a psychological suspense type thriller. I picked this one up at a churchyard sale this past summer. It just sounded like a great thriller and a great escapist kind of read, and I think this will be a good chance to try this one out. The next one I have here is, I think I picked this up at a charity shop, but I think it's a proof copy, which is why this cover is kind of strange. The name of this one is called Port City Black and White, It's excuse me, a Brandon Blake mystery. The author is Jerry Boyle. Jerry Boyle is a main author, and this is a police procedural series. I have never read any of them before. Like I said, I found this one at a charity shop, and I wanted to give it a try. And in this case, the cop that we're following, this Brandon Blake, is a police officer in the city of Portland, Maine. And he is called upon to try to solve a kidnapping case. I like books that are set in Maine. I like to read books that are set in my home state. I find them quite interesting. I always like to see if the author is able to sort of bring in a real Maine flavor into their books, or if the characters ring true to me as main characters or not. So I have had this one sitting on my TBR for several years, and I've been wanting to give it a try. I've given it a pass so far because it's the second book in the series, and I was kind of hoping that I would find the first one somewhere in my travels and be able to read book number 1 first, but I haven't come across book number 1, and I think at this point I'm ready to just give it a go and start with book number 2, because a lot of times book 1 in a series is not that great anyway, so why not just give book number 2 a try, and I think that's what I'll do. The next one is Behind the Shattered Glass by Tasha Alexander, the author. This is in the Lady Emily historical mystery series. I have been reading these for quite a while. I can't remember which number this book is in the series, but basically these are set in I can't remember if these are set, I believe, in the 1800s, with Lady Emily being the solver of the mysteries. She works with her husband Colin, who is basically a spy for the Queen, I believe. But in this installment of the series, they're back home in Colin's ancestral estate, and a person dies during like a garden party or something, and Lady Emily and Colin have to figure out if it was murder, if it was an accident, and if it was murder, who done it. And I really like these historical mysteries. There aren't a lot of historical mystery series that I sort of follow, but I do like these ones that follow Lady Emily and her husband Colin. I find them quite fun to read, and I like the different settings that they have. One, I think the last one that I read was set in Venice. One was set in, I think, Paris, and several have been set in England, and they just have really good settings. I like Lady Emily. She's a cracking good heroine, I think, in this historical mystery series. So again, this one's been on my TBR for quite a while, and it'd be a good time to knock this one off. The last book I have to talk about today for potential March Mystery Madness read is Echoes in Death by J.D. Robb. This is book number 44 in the Eve Dallas series. J.D. Robb is a pseudonym for the romance author Nora Roberts. These books are romantic suspense. They take place in the future. Our main character is Eve Dallas, who is a police detective in a futuristic New York, and these are all police procedurals. And the thing that I love about the Eve Dallas series is the characters. There's a huge cast of characters that have been running constantly throughout this series. I love the interactions between Eve and her husband, Rourke, and her partner, Peabody, and all the other police officers that she works with, and the various other wide-ranging cast of characters that always show up in these books. And really, to me, at this point, book 44 in the series, I'm coming back for the characters. I'm not here necessarily because of the mystery storyline. Generally, that's not the most interesting part. of the story for me, and I certainly would not recommend anybody starting with book 44. But if you like police procedurals, if you like the idea of a futuristic police procedural, if you like strong character development that happens over time in a series, if you like to follow a cast of characters over time in a book series, I definitely would encourage you to give J.D. Robb a try. Yes, there is romance in these police procedurals, but it's certainly not the only aspect of the story. They really are wonderful, sort of, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't call them family dramas because it's not really a family, but it's a group of friends and it becomes a family over the course of time. So it's almost more, you're there for the family that Eve has built around herself over the course of this series. And I just love them. They're like comfort reads to me. So those are the choices that I am going to be deciding amongst in March for March Mystery Madness. I think it's going to be a great deal of fun to read some a little bit more fluffy novels, I think, this month versus the novels that I've been reading in the month of February. And I very much look forward to it. And I will look forward to hearing what all you guys are going to read for March, whether it be mysteries or anything else. And I will talk to you later.